Welcome to Let's Calculate Something. Today we have a little repair to do on our dock. Our limit switch is sticking. Our dock was submerged recently, kind of high levels in the lake. You can see the lake out there. And this limit switch goes to our jet skis, and we ran into some trouble where the jet ski would not go down, would not go up, sorry. And that's because the limit switch was kind of fused. I exercised it a little bit and I kind of fixed it, but then it's still acting up a little bit. So I'm just going to replace this part. I ordered it from Gem Remotes. It's not a big deal to order. It's about 40 bucks when I ordered it, and I'm going to go ahead and replace it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece out, take a picture of all the connections, the electrical connections. The tools I think I'll need for this include just a Phillips screwdriver, a small one that can get through this hole here, and then a pair of pliers to pull off the connections. And we'll get into it and we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to show the video for every step, but pretty much I'm just going to take out this screw here and this screw here, and then undo these connections. But before I do that, I'm going to take a picture of everything with my phone so I have it, so that when I have to put it back together, it'll go together well. Also, I've already set the position of my cams. This is the low cam, this is the high cam. I've already set the position for my lift, and it's already set up really nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate those settings with my with the new one that I have inside, and then when I install this, I should just have to do some fine tuning. So let's get into it. Okay, so I got it out, took this out. Now I will say that this bolt here that goes in this part was a little bit sticky. You just have to pry it out, take your time, don't break anything. And then there was a third screw right here that needed to be taken out. It's right next to the cam, so that was a little tricky, but no problem. I got it out. There is some water in here. I'm gonna blow that out with a straw and clean it up. I could use another thing like a little blower, but I don't have one down at the dock, so I'm just going to use a straw, clean that out, and then hook everything back up, and let's see where we go. Okay, so I came inside and I noticed I needed a slotted screwdriver for these two screws here, and then this is a Phillips. You could use a slotted, I guess, too. It's roomy enough to get in there, but I'll do that. So what we'll do is first we loosen this center screw, and this center screw will allow us to move the cams. And what I noticed is that when I had my lift down there, it was in the upper position, so it was right against this limit switch. You can hear it clicking, and so that's where I'm going to position the upper one here. So that one's good. Now I have to position the lower one, the number one. So you'll see these are numbered 1, 2. I have a 2 cam or two position one, so I have 1, 2. And the 1 is for the lower, 2 is for the upper. So what I had to do is rotate this with this screwdriver just a little bit. I hold the other one in place, and you can move it back and forth. You can see it moving a little bit there. I'm going to line it up exactly with the same position as the limit switch that I took out. And so you can see it's pretty close. If I stack them, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, if I stack them, it's pretty reasonably close, I think. Let's see, look down the barrel here, see if that's pretty good. Can you see that? From my angle, I'm going to move the camera, so I mean, that's pretty close. I think it needs to come. That's good. Okay, so now I've got the upper limit where it needs to be. The lower limit is very nicely lined up. Let's go back out and install it. Okay, so now we're ready to put the one we just adjusted in, and hopefully this is going to line up nicely. And it looks like it does. But these screw holes are lined up nice, and it's in the right spot, so that's good. All right, now I'm going to put one of the screws back in. This is the tricky part. We don't want to lose our magnetic screwdriver here, which will be helpful. We don't want to lose our screw. in the lake, which is always bad. Okay, let's get this one in first. That'll help hold her in there. Try not to get it involved with the cam. As you can see there, it didn't come with screws, so be careful not to lose the ones you have. All right, that one's in. Okay. All right, and this long screw goes in this here part. Okay, just 3 screws holds it in. Okay, so now what we have to do is loosen this. Okay, it's loose. And then we're going to rotate number 2 till it hits the limit switch. Let's do that. There, it just clicked. I'm going to bring it back a hair. Okay, so that's good. Now if I get my old one and put it right on top, I can see that the lower one is in really good shape. Might be a little bit forward. I'm going to back it off a bit. It's okay on the lower side not to go all the way down, so this way you don't bottom out your lift. And that should be good. So let's tighten that up. Nice and tight. Don't go crazy with it. Okay, that's good. So now I have to just connect the electrical. I'm going to go back to my picture. And I'll do that. Let me study this for a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, everything's put back together. The wires are hooked up. I checked it out that we can move the lift. I powered it back on. And by the way, I forgot to tell you when we started this, the first thing you do is unplug your lift, your unit. Make sure it's unplugged before you start messing around with wires and everything. And you could get hurt if somebody turned it on accidentally or whatever. So always unpower your lift and make sure your limit switch is unpowered too. And if you just unpower the unit, that'll take care of that. So unpower everything. So I have all the power back on, and I'm gonna bring the lift down, bring it down so it comes off the limit. And the most concern is the high limit. We do not want to damage our lift or burn our motor out if we exceed the high limit of where the lift can physically go. And so what we're going to do now is test that limit comes on, and then I'll go check to see that the clearances are good. I think they are, so I'm going to go ahead and raise it. After that, the one that I'm most concerned with is the up limit, right? Because that's what will cause damage. The lower limit is also a concern, because if it goes too low and hits the bed, the lake bed, then the cable will unspool, and that'll be a mess, and it's a pain to get it fixed. But you can see the limit did engage, and I'll go check and make sure everything is good, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up. Okay, everything's great. The limit is in the perfect spot, so that's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down, and I'm not going to go all the way down because I don't want to float my skis. I don't have any helpers here today. I can see that the lower cam is moving. It moves really, really slow, but I can see it's moving, so I'm not worried about it. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and trip the limit switch to make sure that when the cam gets there, it'll do its job and turn off the motor. So what I'll do is just take my pointed screwdriver and go here and just pop it. And you can see it did stop, which is perfect. And it's not at the limit, so I can go down again, no problem. But let me go back up, and we'll see it trip and finish out. And then it'll be a second test, which is good. So pretty easy project. You just have to take your time, Make sure you power off your unit. Make sure you take pictures of how the wires are connected. That was pretty straightforward once I took the picture. And then, you know, mind your screws, because you don't get any with the unit when you buy it. And make sure that you take your time and do it just like I said in the video, and you'll be fine. There, it just turned off. It's great. So if you got value out of this video, please like. If you had a different experience, please leave some comments. If you subscribe to my channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on boats and jet skis. I have a pontoon boat. I have a couple of skis. My next video is going to be a wave runner change where I put in a valve so that I can tow it safely, and I'll talk all about that in the video. And then you know, I'll be doing some other videos on some stuff with 3D printing, and then I always do math videos, which is really the home of this channel. So please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon. Be safe out on the water.